שלום אהובים, מה שלומכם? היום יום ראשון, 8 לפברואר 2026, אני רקפת אריה בקה מוזס, מנהיגה רוחנית, ואנחנו פה עם המסר השבועי. שבוע הבא לא יהיה מסר כי אני אהיה בחופש, אבל כן יהיו שני דברים מדהימים אחרים כשאני אחזור. קודם כל יש לנו את חניכת ראש חודש ב-18 לפברואר, אני אשים לכם את כל הפרטים כאן, אבל ב-20 לפברואר יש סדנה מהממת, מי שמכיר את עופר מלמד שהוא גם חבר, והוא גם מנטור בחסד עליון שאני עוקבת אחריו כבר עשור. אז הסדנה שלו, חיבור בין תודעה להצלחה, סדנה מהממת שאני יכולה להגיד לכם, אני הייתי בסדנאות שלו בעבר, אני עוקבת אחרי התכנים שלו, וזה שווה, אני ממש ממליצה לכם להגיע. אבל מה שרציתי לשתף אתכם זה ששבוע שעבר הוא פרסם שכל מי שירשם לסדנה שלו, שהיא במחיר ממש מגוחך, יקבל בעצם את האפשרות לשאול אותו את השאלה הבוערת שלו באופן אישי, והוא יענה לו בהקלטה בוואטסאפ. עכשיו רציתי כבר שבוע שעבר לשתף אתכם בזה, אבל הייתי חולה, וזה נגמר ביום שישי, אז ביקשתי ממנו שיעריך את זה לכם, מי שהקהל שלי, עד יום שלישי בשעה 3 בצהריים. זאת אומרת היום יום ראשון, יש לכם עד יום שלישי, אז כל מי שירשם לסדנה שלו יוכל לקבל את האפשרות לשלוח לו הודעה במייל, ותרשמו לו רקפת שלך אותי כדי שהוא ידע שזה מענייני, ובעצם יעריך לכם את האפשרות כי זה כבר נגמר ביום שישי, והוא יענה לכם בהקלטה קולית על השאלה שלכם, ואני יכולה להגיד לכם מניסיון, זה שווה זהב. אז אני אשים לכם את הלינק של זה גם כאן, וזהו, בואו נלך לראות את המסר שלנו לשבוע הזה. אוקיי. I, Kefet, meant to receive the message from a high and reliable source in a way that is not ambiguous to me and to everyone that will watch the message now and in the future, and that the message will be for our highest good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing our messages. We are the energy of co-creation. We are the energy that move from one person to another. When you collaborate with others, there is a new entity between you, the creation that is being held between the two people that are creating together. It can be someone that you work with, it can be your partner, it can be even when you do something with your child, with your parent, something that you both set your heart to. We are the energy of co-creating, of alignment. We are here today to talk to you a little bit about the future, to remind you that everything that you create with others, with the same heart mission, when you put your heart there, when you desire to do good for others, when you have the same desire that others and you think how you can do those things together, how you can bring who you are and the other can bring who they are, and together you have so much strength, you have so much power to create something greater than the two of you. We are the energy of co-creating, of alignment. When your heart aligns with others, there is something greater that happens in the universe. You see us moving from one side to the other very fast. You know why is that? Because we connect the dots faster than you can imagine. When you align with others, when your heart beats the same ideas, the same passion, when you wish to help, when you have the desire to create something bigger than yourself, not for you, but for the people around you, then you set the tone for what you want to create, but we, the energy, is moving very fast in order to connect all the dots to help you create that thing. Because this is the time of unity, of creating together, of letting go the need to prove yourself and knowing that you deserve something. This is the time of knowing that all of you, all the world, all the people in the world, all of humanity, everything that lives here, the animals too, the nature, deserve better. Not just you, but everything that is created. And when you find within you what is unique, what your heart truly desires to create here, and you think about the people around you that you can co-create together, and you join hands, and you align your heart wishes, then we start to act. We move into action and we work fast. We connect the dots. So you will see them as flashlights and start to see what are the actions that you need to do. You will feel it in your heart. You will feel it like excitement, knowing that this is the next step for you. So think now, what can you create together with others? The people that are close to you right now, the people in your life, and then start think further away. Start think other circles. What can you change? We are so excited to see you work together with others, and we are so excited to connect the dots for you, because that means that you're aligned. Thank you. We wish that all of you will find this week something to start with, something bigger than you that you can change now, something bigger than what you desire, something that can really help others. Do that with excitement, with love, with alignment, and we will do the rest for you. Thank you. Okay. Wow. That was a beautiful message, wasn't it? I feel that I understand the message, but at the same time, I feel that there are other things in the message that I need to hear again. So I recommend you to listen to the message again, and also to share with me how did it make you feel. Maybe you already have an idea how to start. So share with me your thoughts, your ideas, and please share this message on with other friends and family that they can do the same. Have a beautiful week.